Number 6 of the top 10 hospice mistakes or opportunities, not using compensation to automatically do accountability. A lot of people will recoil on this or resist it. But are you actually expecting your managers to hold people accountable? I've been doing this for almost 27 years, folks. Well, actually more than that when you talk about when I first got into hospice. They're not going to do it. Therefore, you have the system do it. You sensitize your EMR, you sensitize your financial system to detect any deviation from standard. And at that point, that non-wounding, which is important since everybody's a feeling, that non-wounding email that's worded really well is sent immediately as soon as the non-standard is detected. So they're notified and their manager is copied at the same time so they know exactly where to coach up that person. So again, reality. I'm just being steely-eyed here, folks. Let me just say this, whenever an organization doesn't get what it wants from any serious initiative, it comes to lack of accountability. And so you want the system to do it rather than your managers, because the reality is your managers will not do it. Maybe occasionally they will, but it won't be consistent, and sometimes it'll be deferred. And that deferred pain, which has to be register, is what helps do the job. So that super pay system, and we've had a lot, I'm not going to go through this, I'm going to go quite faster through this. We've had massive breakthroughs, but this is the newest version of the system. I've got it, I'm helping personally with 3 hospices implement it, and I know we've got a bunch of others going in now, but we start out with that lower base, either salary, hourly, per visit sometimes, depends on what state you're in. But the most important thing is this standards bonus or portion. Basically with no stretch, just doing your job, no, you're not pressing people. And we do this a lot of times now based on productivity unit, either per visit or per unique patient, in a payroll period. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Individual pay, again, this is where clinicians can leverage up and you can get to a point where you pay $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 more than your competitors. Of course, they have to be doing your job. And then for the manager, clinical manager pay or team pay based on beating the contribution margin. Anyway, and these are just some examples. Like a nurse, normally we want that a number of unique patients visited within semi-monthly period. And so you have a base, case management portion that they can count on getting every time. Then you have a part for every patient they get. In this case, it'd be it'll be $120 per visit. But there's a base point that they get every time, and there's a standards portion that if they don't do their documentation or there's a complaint or some other non-standard, this portion can be taken away. And then there's this other marvelous thing, revolutionary, I'll say, is this attitude attitude/performance bonus. That we've just got this neat system where everyone defaults to 10, and at each period, if they are displeased with someone's either attitude or performance, they can give someone a bad score. And then if the average score is less than a 7, that person's attitude or performance bonus is removed. And again, we got some nice ways that use these standard things, and you don't have to think about it that much. But if people want to solve their issues with a poor culture, this will do it automatically because the team knows who's doing their job and who's not. And we have to foster this team integrity, especially in a hospice, since we're supposed to be an interdisciplinary team. Anyway, I can't go into that too deep. Aides might be on number of visits, or LPNs, or social workers. Again, some type of base they can count on, some type of productivity unit with a standards portion and this great standards bonus, and this which could be sometimes quite large. And then quality, how's that done? all the classic hospice disciplines here. You know, you're sampling the charts to a 90 to 95% confidence interval, so you know that the documentation is 100% to standards. And then the productivity, you don't really have to worry about as much in this new system, but it has to be 100% in the plan of care. We don't allow anything outside the plan of care. And then obviously no gifts. Boom, those three elegant things, easy to monitor, easy to do, incredible results. And then, of course, you free up all this time for your managers to do these 60-day ride-alongs because they don't have to monitor documentation anymore. You can take it from the job description, the need to monitor productivity, gone. They don't even have to do annual reviews, and they don't even have to fire people. It's all done for them, freeing up time to do ride-alongs for the first duty.